In Justin Trudeau's race to turn Canada into a post-nation state, the most glaring casualty has been a free and independent media representing Canadians. This has created an environment of opportunity for journalists who practice ethical truth journalism. Welcome to your spoiler alert.
All right, looks like things are not working out for me tech-wise today. It's a good thing I only planned on being here for just a minute, guys. This is a hot one coming into you guys for Alberta. If you guys understand what we're up against, you guys know that this is top-down ideology written in Davos that depends on bottom-up implementation, and they are implementing fast. So if you want to help your community get involved or learn from what is going on in Thorhild, sorry. So I'm going to read to you guys this bulletin and add some links and get to it. This is something that we can help intervene on or learn from to protect our communities. So I'm just going to read this to you very quickly. It says, "Hello, fellow Albertans. I implore you all immediately to familiarize yourself with your local land use bylaw. Also, pay attention to whether it has been updated recently or is in the process of being updated. Keep reading to find out why. I reside in Thorhild County, northeast of Edmonton. It's a small municipality that is more than 99% rural by land use. There isn't even one town in our county, but there are 7 hamlets ranging in population from 24 to 391 people. In fact, our entire population is 1,997 kilometers. County is 1,997 kilometers square. The population is only 3,042 people. Pretty rural, normal Alberta county, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, they're all going to look the same. And this is important because this is coming to you guys too if it isn't there already. So, currently we are fighting a proposed land use bylaw, LUB, under complete rewrite. A company called Green Space. Well, lost there for a second. A company called Green Space Alliance urban planning firm GSA was contracted at a price of $100,000 to do the rewrite. They have an office in Edmonton but are based out of India, and their specialty is large urban centers, Mumbai as an example. The rewrite they did for our county is deplorable, excessively punitive, and very clearly not designed for rural communities, but rather more strongly patterning large urban center templates. I will say the county did the bare minimum of their due diligence to make people aware of this incoming change through advertising in their Facebook, Twitter, website, and local newsprint. However, a quick glance at their social media shows that their engagement is embarrassingly low. They should have realized at some point that the information was not being received. In fact, when the GSA sent surveys out, only 61 people participated. Does that sound like adequate participation numbers to confidently say that you have satisfactorily engaged the public in the process? I would say not. At any rate, not to pat myself on the back, but had it not been for me one morning sitting down to a coffee to read this bylaw a week prior to the public hearing and rapidly hopping on social media to sound the alarm, I am certain this bylaw would have been passed without contest on January 10th. I began an aggressive social media campaign to ensure as many of our community members were aware of the dangers if this bylaw were to pass. And the movement took on a life of its own. Prior to that, literally no one was talking about it because you're not supposed to be talking about it. They've done this with everything. They're sliding it under the door, manufacturing the consent through their own little posse of cult bot armies. So, they had 47 people show up to the public hearing. 10 people gave impassioned presentations about all the ways this bylaw would affect them and the whole community negatively. The council had no choice but to put forth a motion to take more time to go through the information provided in the presentations. That's victory number 1. They have not given us a timeline as to when they will revisit this. A group of us concerned citizens booked a community hall and a staggering 193 people attend, where they were presented with what we know so far. about what our legal options are for interceding in this land use process. It was pretty incredible. I believe there is a province-wide campaign for Alberta municipalities, perhaps even nationally, to update their land use bylaws right now. Yes, get involved. You have to intervene at the municipal level to stop the globalists. That's the bottom line of this. This is clearly New World Order driven, in my opinion. This is no mistake. I hope to somehow bring awareness to what's going on here, but no media outlets will provide us any kind of coverage or support whatsoever. You're getting it here right now. Please get the message out from here, guys. Share, like, make this an urgency. Let's say one town in Alberta, start from there and start saving some more. I would love if we were able to bring some attention to this provincially, maybe even nationally. That's too much to hope for. Not if you guys are on it. If we are successful in staving off this assault on our liberties to make it viral and help other municipalities stop the local abuses of power that are working to prevent us from living freely, providing our own food security, etc. You know, all the things they want to use to control us. Some of this impacts us is, oh, I lost it again, hitting too many thumbs. Some of the ways this impacts us is, like I mentioned, we are predominantly rural community. Less than 1% of our total land use is urban. By population, we are approximately 72% rural, agricultural. So approximately only 20% of the county's population lives in the hamlets mentioned. Despite this, the proposed land use agreement thing includes the following regulations. Just as a few examples of the atrocities contained therein. All zones will require a permit for barbed wire fence in a farming community. All zones are subject to sister bylaw titled the Urban Hen Bylaw, which in its current state, though not yet passed, limits you to have a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 4 laying hens. In order to secure a permit to possess these hens, you must be a landowner, take an approved hen care course, apply for a PID, apply for a permit, secure a written letter of consent of your neighbor who has property adjoining yours in a county where farmers have hundreds of farmed acres. Provide the land title certificate to your home secured no more than 14 days prior to your application, which is impossible given how backed up they are. I've been waiting 11 months for 4 chickens. Permits for four chickens in a rural area. Strict regulations on the size, design, placement of your hen enclosure. Have the enclosure inspected and pass inspection prior to use, and agree to the county requirement that an inspector, peace officer, quote unquote, can enter your premises at any time without warrant to inspect as a condition of your license. Again, this is written in a land use bylaw in a county that is 99% rural agricultural by land. In addition to that nonsense, there is now a limit on the number of accessory buildings, maximum 4. If you know anything about farming, this is beyond ridiculous. Also, for any buildings that have not been used in 6 months, you will be required to apply for a new permits. So, grain crop not good, and you only use half your grain storage. Those unused grain storage buildings become instantly illegal, and a new permit must be applied for. Country residential areas are limited to 10 shrubs. That must be a 50-50 mix of coniferous, deciduous shrubs, as well as only 2 coniferous trees and 2 deciduous trees. Certainly, if you live in a city, this may not seem offside, but you live in the country where your nearest neighbor is literally miles away, you can see how ridiculous this is. There are more than 100 instances where it states that permits will be issued at the discretion of, quote unquote, based on the opinion of, quote unquote, etc. Extremely subjective. The most insidious part is that it's 100% retroactive. So even if you're in compliance with the existing land use agreements, so even if you're once one of the new one comes into effect, the new one applies, and you'll be subject to daily fines for non-compliance. They've been in contact with municipal affairs, who have provided us with some limited guidance. They have no authority or jurisdiction to intercede. However, I fully believe our situation up here in Thorhild County is in no way isolated, and I would strongly suggest that each and every one of you become intimately familiar with your own land use. What's the word for it? Let me scroll back up here. I want to make sure that this is right. Land use bylaws. Sorry. So they've got a website. these are just local people that have put it together and they're standing up to a fight. So help them out, get the message out, make this public because it is coming to you too. So learn from this, figure out what your possibilities are, and let's get on this, guys. The website is Thorhild County. Bear with me for a second. Thorhild County Resi .wix site. It's not fancy, it's not polished, guys. It's a free website, but they're doing what they can with what they got. Sorry, I guess I forgot to type that. Thorhild County. All right, I'll drop that in the chat. This is what it looks like, guys. They've got a meeting coming up. Pardon me, just had one in on the 21st, and they've got one coming up in February. So go help them out and give them a helping hand. Let's see what we can do this and get ahead of this in everybody else's communities, because this is the globalists making their move against all the shadows and all of the nonsense and insanity that they are raging on out there. All right, I've gone as far as I'm going to go on this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Share this out, subscribe, catch us on LGM tomorrow for a big show. Now go watch Shadow at Night on Facebook and lgm.news as well. We'll probably see you all there. Thank you. Bye for now. Stay strong and get your butts in gear. We can do this. We can stop them, but we got to do it. We got to do it. And it's coming to you too. Bye for now.